What is investing? For the general South African citizen, most of us we have heard the term investing or investment, and we quite have an understanding as to what it entails. But this video is here to give you some insight into what is investing and some investment strategies that you may deploy to have the maximum future gains into your capital or principal. So, investing, the simplest definition that I have is that it is basically putting your capital into some business or entity with the hopes of future gains. Okay, and yeah, the strategy that most of us as South Africans usually deploy of maybe buying into your index funds and also buying into businesses that are large, right? Businesses that are well established with a large market cap. That is what Benjamin Graham in his book, The Intelligent Investor, will typically describe as a defensive investor. So this type of investor is one who doesn't spend as much time in the market trying to understand a lot of financial instruments, but it's just one who wants to see gains into their money, right? They don't want the highest gains, since that also comes with its own risk. So they are as comfortable with having average gains onto their capital. So this type of investor basically, as I've said, looks into businesses that have a competitive advantage, called the business mode, right? So businesses that are well established, that have so much barriers to entry, whereby you know that even in the next 10 to 15 years, this business will be here, is here to stay, and it will keep on growing in revenue and its earnings. So such businesses are one of the simplest ways a defensive investor can go about investing. So obviously one of the platforms that are most common in South Africa is your Easy Equity. That's our very common brokerage firm, right? Of which you can also buy your index funds, as I've said before. So your index funds, you can obviously buy your Citrix index fund, of which you can basically be able to invest into foreign markets with just that. And also within the US space, you can have a portfolio of on the US economy within your Easy Equities, whereby you can buy index funds such as your S&P 500, which are much more of a diversified, safe portfolio for you. And as a defensive investor, you can also tap into bonds, since that also gives you much more safety on your investments, right? Remember, we don't want to invest all of our money into one business or index fund. We want to make sure that we protect our money, right? It's like we're hedging against all possible downsides into the market. On the other side, he talks about these special types of investors, which are called enterprise investors. So Benjamin Graham, on this type of investors, emphasizes that they spend lots and lots of time trying to understand the market. This is your investor will typically look at your stock screeners, trying to understand your PE ratio, whether the stock is a value buy, whether it's expensive or it's cheap. One will look at your earnings per share. They will look at your quarterly earnings. They will look at your annual reports, right? The management team and all that. Also, the industry, right? Whether the industry is booming or not. So, this type of investor also eyes on businesses that could become your next Nvidia. Remember, Nvidia in the past few years was not as big, right? But now, being the market leader within the AI chipset manufacturing, it has grown extensively, nearly eclipsing Apple and being the largest business in the world. So, Nvidia, being able to spot the next Nvidia, be it being the robotics, as that's also one industry that's expected to grow. Such an investor is a typical passive investor who wants to have the maximum gains in the market. Remember, this doesn't come easy. You need lots of strategies and a lot of historical data. You have to neglect your emotions, right? Do not panic buy or panic sell. Do not listen to speculators when they say the market is collapsing or this and that is happening, but use your own personal judgment and let your money grow with time. Whichever type of investor you end up becoming at the end of the day strongly relies on the amount of time you're willing to spend and your risk appetite. And also, if ever you want to devote your life to the stock market. At the end of the day, both are investors, be it defensive or enterprising investor, using the right mindset, you will make gains in the market, right, at your own pace. What's mainly important is for you to protect your life savings. At the end of the day, we all want to remain financially stable with a financially healthy future. Thank you for watching the video till the end.